All right, guys, welcome back to our final segment. I want to welcome YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Well, so if you haven't checked out my first two segments, guys, if this is your first segment, which is my last segment you're watching on YouTube, please check out the first two segments on Podbean. And go to Podbean, don't do iHeartRadio. I think there's some stuff going on with them. And I do hope to get on Apple iTunes podcast. I just haven't done that yet. So my last topic of conversation, and this right now, guys, I don't love talking about this, but I have to address this, and it's got to be addressed. And let me just say, first of all, I have people that I love and respect who vote Democrat, okay? And I believe there are many people who vote Democrat who do it because they feel like they're doing it for the right reasons, okay? And I was telling my brother today in the conversation, look, I never want to needlessly offend. Some people just needlessly offend because they feel like they have to do that to make themselves feel more powerful and stronger, and there's a self-esteem issue there. And so by doing that, it doesn't actually help at all. It just makes you more weak because you're more dependent on your own ability to be strong, which I don't have that ability, truly. As it says in John 15, apart from him, I can do absolutely nothing, which is just truth. I 100% believe that. I can't do anything apart from him. As I was thinking recently, and again, there's stuff that happens in the Republican Party I don't like. There are people in the Republican Party I don't agree with, okay? But the Democrat Party, guys, has unequivocally, and they come in their leadership. Let me just say, I'm addressing the leadership, not necessarily addressing people who vote Democrat. I'm trying to persuade and influence you, if anything. It's the leaders of the Democrat Party who almost 100% and universally agree. And some things, guys, I know it's easy to make political punching points, right? To say an outlier, for example, and try to make that as the Democrat, their complete and total agenda. But what I'm saying now, guys, and the few things I'm going to list, this has to stop. The insanity, the absolute commitment to things that are antithetical to what's honorable, true, and good and virtuous, and that are targeting our children. I just found out for the first time I'm going to have a baby boy. So this is becoming even more real to me. I will not capitulate to anything that's fake, phony, and false to try to make anyone feel better. However, to communicate that in a discerned and peaceful way is important. And regardless, even if you communicate it in a peaceful way, there are people who are still going to hate you and vilify you. But I'm going to get right down to it. So some things that, guys, we cannot idly sit by and allow our families, our children, our school systems, our culture to be infected with. For example, when you tell me a little boy, a 4-year-old boy, should castrate himself because he wants to be a girl, and do that without his parents' consent, you penalize the parents and you tell them they are being bad parents to try to help their child. And then you tell a girl, an 8 or 9-year-old girl, you promote and tell her a double mastectomy is good, and you should not have to tell your parents to get that. And you promote that. That, guys, is the definition of insanity. The definition of something that's antithetical to what the truth is. And then when you also promote infanticide, and guys, this is not just an outlier. These things are not just, one segment of the country is talking about this. This force is permeated and infecting the whole country and the whole world. It's not hyperbolic. When you promote infanticide, when you promote partial birth abortion, literally shoving a knife, and I'm sorry to be graphic, but this is just the truth. We can't mince words and try to dance around the issue. And the Democrat Party, they universally, their platform is this. There's no ambiguity. This is who and what they support. Partial birth abortions. They support infanticide. We've talked about this. If a failed abortion attempt, child's born, there's movements in, whether it's New York, California, but again, I can't just quantify and say it's just those states. That a mother, a father, and a doctor can determine whether or not they want to keep the baby alive. murder. It's just, there's no way to describe that. And I'm not even talking about the full scope of abortion. And they try to stigmatize people who oppose that we're somehow the radicals. That we're radical to want to protect the life. The bottom line is, guys, the conversation right now with abortion, just the definition is this a live human being? I saw my baby boy at 8 weeks. I heard his heartbeat. I heard his heartbeat. It's a baby, it's a child, they're living. No more, guys. We can't capitulate. We can't compromise. We have to say no, but we do it in a peaceful way. But a peaceful way will be misconstrued as you being intolerant. Okay, if you're labeled intolerant because you're standing for the truth, then be labeled intolerant. Samwise Gamgee said in Lord of the Rings, Frodo asked Sam, what are we fighting for? And Sam said, there's some good left in the world, Master Frodo, and it's worth fighting for. The goodness of God is worth taking a stand for. And let me just say this very unequivocally. Jesus said in the Bible that sin is bound to come, but woe to the person that comes through. It's better for them to have a millstone tied around their neck than to deceive one of these little ones. I am going to say this unequivocally, unabashedly, and to the point. Jesus is not and will never be okay with people in leadership positions who are abusing the children. Abusing the children. And the ones who are being targeted right now, most viciously and nefariously, are our children. That is who they are targeting. Public education, the same thing. Filling their minds with filth. Infecting them. And then telling us that if we oppose this, if we say, you know what, no, I disagree with this because this is just common sense. This is logic. This is science. Then we're the intolerant ones. We have to be prosecuted. There are plenty of instances. This is not, again, not an outlier, not being hyperbolic. And guys, I'm being super passionate right now because, guys, this is hitting very near to my heart. And I beckon you, you can no longer align yourself with people. And you know what? And if you don't want to vote Republican, look at the candidate. But tell me a Democrat candidate right now, just tell me one who opposes this stuff. Tell me one. And then how can you reconcile? How can you reconcile support for any, I don't care what party they are, Independent, Republican, Democrat. How can you reconcile if you're someone who loves the truth, if you care about your children, if you care about the soul and the fabric of this nation, how can you say, I'm voting for this person? How can you reconcile that? I asked someone a year or so ago, I was messaging with this person on Instagram. I was like, look, dude, I'm not telling you can't be a Christian and vote Democrat. I'm not saying that. I would never say that. I'm not in the judgment seat of God. What I am asking you is, how can you reconcile your faith when you're someone who loves the truth, even if you're someone who just believes in decent morality, which most people do? How can you reconcile supporting a party or just politicians? Because again, tell me a popular politician who doesn't fall in this category on the Democrat Party. How can you reconcile that? Didn't get a response. Again, I was the one being accused of being intolerant. Okay? I was the one being accused of being judgmental. And I admit, guys, look, I don't want to, as I said, needlessly offend. But when I'm going to stand on the truth, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to try to do it in a peaceable way. But guys, I'm not going to capitulate. And let me just end with this. As I said before, we have the power here. They don't have the power. They wouldn't be committed in trying to deceive and influence us if there was not some sort of capital that we have that they want or want to influence. And I tell you what, like, I will not be okay sitting idly by and watching this stuff pollute my children, pollute my country. But I'm going to do it in a way, and I'm not going to resolve, because I'll end with this. They want to draw us in. These people who I've talked about, the people who are pulling the levers of power, okay? Many people we don't know who have billions of dollars they're inputting in these different foundations all across the world who try to reshape and restructure cultures and civilizations and democratic republics. These type of people want us to engage in the violence. They say, look, they are violent. See, look, this person is responding in violence. See, look, we're right about these people. We're right about the Christians. Look how violent they're responding. Look how hateful they're responding. Let me just say this too. People who are struggling, children who are struggling with just asking themselves, Am I the right gender? Just using that for example, I have compassion for them. I have compassion for people who vote for these type of individuals because they've been told this is the right way to vote. I am someone who champions social justice, so therefore, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater with me, okay? You may disagree with a little bit with me, but yeah, you agree with most of the stuff. So vote for me. I have compassion for those people. I have compassion for you if you're one of those people. But I ask you to consider, be introspective enough. Will you exchange culture? Will you exchange political dogma for the right thing, for what's virtuous and right and good? But I'm going to stand upon the truth, and I'm not going to stop speaking the truth, okay? But I encourage you, don't capitulate, don't enter into the hatred, the discord, the divisiveness. That's exactly what they want. You stand firm in love and faith, because that is enough. When you just stand firm in your faith and you do it in love, man, that you will always win with that. And that's what we need: boldness, courage, and steadfastness. All right, guys, I'm done. If you haven't checked out the full podcast, please check it out. The first two segments are on Podbean. My name is Michael Spann. I really appreciate you all tuning in, and I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye.